In this video, I'm going to work out loud to show you how I got the branding up on my YouTube channel and just talk through my process for when I'm creating logos and branding in general. My logo creation process basically starts with what ideas I can think up and just almost like visually brainstorming as much things as possible. So in this case with eLearning out loud, some of the things I was thinking about were the initials ELOL, trying to see if I could play off that LOL theme, maybe something fun. And then the out loud part as well. There's different ways to communicate audio, being loud, things like that. And one of the things I did is I just went out to the internet and did a search for different themes, different logos that already existed that I might be able to play off of in those areas that I just talked about. And these were a few that I found. And sometimes I like to save those in a folder just that I might label ideas. Other times I'll just bring them into the tool that I'm using as kind of reference in the background. This is never going to be something where I'm going to be copying 100%. I don't want to steal anything. I'm just trying to get ideas that I could incorporate into my own design. In this case, I didn't end up going with any of these, but what caught my eye was the idea of putting things in a thought bubble and turning the word out sideways. I thought that might come in handy for what I was doing. And I like this megaphone to incorporate the visual of being loud. So I thought maybe I could do that as well. And clearly I wasn't going to steal the iconic Lego branding, but I just like the way that those letters came together. So I just threw that in there as well. Another example I want to show really quick is the logo design iteration for my podcast, the Instructional Redesign Podcast. And you can see the evolution here on the left. I just needed something really quick to put up on our social media feeds and things like that until we had the full branding established. So this was just a placeholder. I thought it would come together a little bit better than it did, but it was just something to hold things over until I had a better design in place. Now on the second one there, I really liked how the R and the E fit into the thought bubble and were added on to instructional design. The whole point of the podcast is kind of to say there's the instructional design process, and then we want to have stories and conversations around how that can be modernized, was the thinking. So I wanted to have this very established instructional design visual, and then almost as an afterthought, the idea that it's actually a redesign. So I thought it came together nicely. The only problem was in this second iteration, everything was weighted very far to the left, and I wanted to fix that. I tried in the third iteration, and it was pretty good, but ultimately what I landed on is just making it a little more formal and putting the weight of everything more proportional, I'll say, and having it look like the re is still added on, but it's still incorporated into the whole thing. And that's how we got the final logo with the final colors. And it's always nice to see your design put out in the world for people to see. But there's something about having it actually be a physical thing that you can feel and touch. Just it's a whole nother, takes it to a whole nother level. But let's go back to the branding of this channel. What I started out with was I knew I wanted to keep the color scheme of my recently redesigned personal brand. So this is my new logo for my upcoming website and portfolio redesign for josephsuarez.com. And these are the colors I've been using for years. I wanted to stick with those. And I also I decided to pull those over into the branding for this channel as well. So what I started doing was just messing around in Illustrator because I really thought that these letters could come together and do something. So I was just, resizing things, trying different typefaces, sizes, positions, seeing if I could get something that would look interesting and flow. These ones did not come together at all like I was hoping, but from just messing around with these, I started to realize that perhaps we can have some overlap with the letters. And once these were sized a little bit more appropriately, the lowercase e size the same as the capital letters in the rest started to work very well. And that's something I wanted to carry out here, trying out different weights and types of fonts even. And I really liked the bolder and bigger I got, the more into the what's called slab serif realm of fonts I started to like. And that brought me over here to this font, which I really started to like this when I saw this fleshed out. So I liked how the letters worked, and I wanted to see how the whole thing came together as a statement, and I really liked how that worked. I just wanted to see the colors a little bit differently, so that's where I finally inversed everything and basically got to this point where I had everything, but I was missing something on the side and it didn't look good centered. So I was just trying different things, different positioning, and I was like, okay, what can I do with the space that's open? I tried a little triangle for like a play symbol. That didn't work as well as audio symbol here for different levels. And then the last piece to everything was I needed a nice profile picture. And that's why I started out with just the letters, because I knew I needed something that was going to be able to fit into a square or a circle and still look nice and be legible. So that's why I wanted just the letters. And I was messing around with different things. And ultimately, what I ended up with was just this E with the sound almost coming out of it, which I really liked. So with my branding established, the thing I needed to do next was go over to YouTube and figure out what size everything needed to be and create things appropriately. If you have a YouTube channel, you can come over to your channel customization options, and under branding, it gives you very clear instructions on what type of file, the file size. So in this case, the profile picture needed to be 98 by 98, or at least that size. And the banner image, they recommend be at least 2048 by 1152 and under 6 megabytes. I ended up creating those sizes in Illustrator, and that's how I got these here. And I know what you might be thinking or saying to yourself, I don't have Illustrator, I don't know how to use it. What can I use, or how can I achieve this same thing on my own? Luckily, there is a free solution. If you just go to pixlr.com, that's Pixlr.com, and you can choose to create something right here in your web browser as if you were in Photoshop. So we said that the profile picture was 98 by 98. We could just put that in here like that. And I think it actually recommended it being a little bigger. There's actually much more detail about branding your channel in YouTube, and the recommended size is 800 by 800 for a profile pic. So that would be something that scales down well to 98 by 98. So back in Pixlr, we will close out of this and create a new image that is 800 by 800. And that's where you could pull in your images from wherever. Now, as you may have seen from previous videos, I am a big fan of PowerPoint for getting simple things done when you might not have more powerful tools. So right here in PowerPoint, let's just say I wanted to create a quick logo. This is just going to be real down and dirty. Let's just make it one of these guys. We're going to be here. We got to make it red, right? I don't know. Let's just make this the anti-eLearning out loud channel. Okay, this is really bad, but you get the point. So in PowerPoint, I could create it like that. The only problem here is PowerPoint does everything in inches, and it's going to be kind of awkward to get things sized exactly to 800 by 800 or know what's going on. So you could just right from here say save as picture and save it out, and then that can be whatever you use. I'm just going to go ahead and save that and then upload that to Pixlr to make sure everything is working fine. And I will import, I guess it's open in this case, my file, and that came in at some crazy dimensions. So I'll just come over here to my marquee select tool and make sure I get everything. And with that, I will say copy, Control C, go back over to my one that I know is sized at 800 by 800 and say paste. And I would want a little bit of a margin around this. I don't want it right on the edges. So this is actually nice. And it looks like Pixlr pasted it automatically in the middle. Maybe, maybe not. But just for this example, we will say yes, that it looks fine. We will save. If we wanted to preserve that transparency in the background indicated by that checkerboard look, we would need to save it as a PNG. If we don't and we say JPEG, it just automatically converts that to white. So something to keep in mind. So we would then download that and upload it to YouTube as our profile picture. As far as the banner image, YouTube recommends, like I said, 2048 by 1152, keeping things in the 16:9 aspect ratio. So you would just repeat that process in Pixlr, open up a new file at that size, and then bring in whatever you wanted to create your banner image as well. So that is my process for creating branding and logos and how I got the branding up on my YouTube channel. The next step for working out loud will be to work on video thumbnails. That is something I am sorely in need of, and I will do that in the next video, and I will see you then. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and follow me on this working out loud journey. Obviously, if you've watched previous videos, you can see that I've got my video and lighting set up much better than it was before. It's been a crazy learning experience. I've learned so much in a week, and I am so excited to slowly improve over time. So I will catch you guys in the next one.